Hi everybody, Cynthia here from the Scrappy Bookworm. I am currently working on a vintage album, and this morning I'm working on my pull-outs, my pocket pull-out mats, photo mats, and I just got done doing all my tabs, gluing my tabs on, and I just started my one mat, and I was thinking, you know, there could be some people out there that don't have tab punches like myself. I created these from a scalloped square. So I thought I would actually I'd stop what I was doing for a few minutes and make a video to show you guys how I created these and give you a couple different ideas how to create your own from the different punches you have or just doing them by hand. I love to create different types of tabs depending on what kind of album I'm doing. So I have not invested in a tab punch. There are a few out there I want. I've seen a Tim Holtz one I really love. So I'm, of course, saving up my money and my budget, but I really like to create different types. So I know I'm not going to go out and buy 20 different types of tab punches. So excuse me. For example, like this Disney album I just made, my pullouts, I created this Mickey Mouse head tab, and I did that from my Mickey Mouse punch. So that's another, I think that looks really cute as pullout tabs. You could do that if you have a butterfly punch or a circle punch or whatever kind of punch you had. Basically, I just punched out two Mickey Mouse heads. I got my Studio G glitter glue, rubbed it on this side and this one, only on one side. Let it dry. When they were dry, I got my piece of, let me rip these scraps off here. Got my piece of cardstock. Got my glue and glued one side, kind of lined it up and glued that down. Okay, then you want to flip it over. You don't want to use a quick drying glue, and I'm going to tell you why. You can't move it around. I used a quick drying glue once and it just stuck lopsided and I was so mad. I had to redo the whole thing. So don't use one of your quick drying glues if you're not used to doing this. And you kind of just want to line them up together. I usually use a rag to push them together, just so it wipes up the excess glue that might squeeze out on me. And there you go. You have yourself a pull tab from one of your, character punches or whatever type of punch you want to use. Another example you could use would be, I have a circle scallop punch. So I'm just gonna, actually I have a scrap piece of paper here I can use that's already been embossed. I ran it through my Cuttlebug. So I have an embossed circle scallop here. And cut it in half. And then what you want to do is line them up back to back. And then just take a look at both sides. This side I can see that it doesn't match up with the other side, so I'm going to trim that excess off. Okay? And basically, you're going to glue it on your card just like the other one. And you have yourself a really cute pull tab. Let's see, another example of a way I make my pull tabs. You can use, if you have a border punch. I use this border punch, and then I cut out the single, pieces here. Just back those up, just like I did on the other one. And you have yourself a really cute pull tab. You're going to put your photo mat, like here. If you see on this card, you can see that edge. I don't like that. So basically, when I added my photo mats to this card, I covered that. so you can't even really see it. That's what you would do here. You would add your paper, you know, over that, so you only see this really cute pull tab. And if you want it a lot sturdier than this, if it's a border punch, you can use the acid-free Mod Podge glue or sealer and seal it, you know, before you glue them together onto your card. So that's another idea. Also, I have used my scrap border pieces, my die cut border pieces. I cut 2 butterflies off of this scrap piece. You can back them up just like I did on with the Mickey Mouse head, you know, and you have, well, now it's not lining up because my fingers aren't working, but you guys get the idea, you know. That's a really cute pull tab. So you can use your scrap border pieces. You can use any type of punch you want to create your own pull tabs. Let's see. Oh, let me show you actually how I made this. I wanted it to look kind of like a file folder pull tab. So basically what I did was, I'm hoping this isn't too loud, but this punch is so hard to use. Okay. I've had this punch forever. I got this at a yard sale for $1. And it's kind of heavy and it's a little tough for me to use, but I still like it. So anyway, what I did was I just cut up the center. And then I lined them up. And I kind of eyeballed it how big I wanted the tab to be, and I cut those tips off, and that's what you get. I'm going to trim this bottom up a little bit so they both match and they're the same size. So that's how I created this. And then I took my little embossing folder. I have these border embossing folders, and I lined them up, closed my embossing folder, lined them up real good, and ran them through my Cuttlebug, and then they came out embossed, and then I just inked them up. You know, you could ink them up, and then it really brings out the embossing. If you don't have a Cuttlebug or any kind of embossing thing, you can hand emboss them if you wanted to. Just get out your mouse pad or whatever kind of squishy pad you have available and use your stylus, you know, draw some squiggly lines on it and you got some embossing. You could stamp them with images, you know, with your stamps if you wanted, or you could leave them plain. I'm going to save these 2 scrap pieces. I'll use them as corners, or I'll use them as another type of pull tab. Okay. Another thing you can do is, if you don't have, let me cut this off. If you don't have any punches available to you at all, you can just create your own from a rectangle piece. Is that a rectangle? Yeah. My brain's not working. You can create your own file folder tab. You basically want to go from one corner up towards the top, from the corner up towards the top at an angle. So you're just basically cutting that edge off and cutting that edge off, and then you can just trim it up and you have yourself a file folder pull tab. Okay, if you have fancy scissors and you don't want to use plain scissors, create yourself a fancy edge if you want. There you go. You got your pull tab. So I just wanted to stop what I was doing and kind of show you the different ways that I make mine. A lot of times I just sit there and think, what kind of tab could I use this time? And that's what I do, guys. I just look at my different punches and imagine away. So I hope that helped. I hope maybe I gave you some good ideas that, you know, you can use for your stuff, for your crafting. So if you have any questions, leave me a message below and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. And thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a great day.